Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close. I don't know what I was gonna call it, but I was gonna call it something else. Welcome to the show. Good to have you here. We are having, well, what are we having? It's been an interesting day on the market. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, but in the end, not a lot has happened. So as you can see, we've been sort of edging back and forth between red and green. Nobody knows. I'm not guessing. We're going with the white. It's a white day on the market or a flat day. Even though, yeah, even though you really have, I guess you can't call it flat. Kind of like up, down, all around. What can I say? Holy banana bread. Ah, what a day. All right, let's pull this up. Let's pull this up here and take a gander. So as you can see, oh boy. So as you can see, from Tuesday afternoon, we started a nice little trip on the downside yesterday, but we made it back up. Quite literally, this afternoon, early this afternoon, we were back where we started, and now we're heading back down again. So currently, we are sitting in the red, just a tiny bit, 0.03% in the red. It'll probably touch the green again. It's hard to say. Yeah, but guys, overall for the month, we're still well above. You see that blue line there? That blue line, that's where we started it's not where we started the month. It's where we ended the last month, because sometimes those are two different numbers. But that's as long as we stay above that blue line, we got ourselves a green month. It's looking like a green September. Well, there's not that many days left. What's today? The 24th? Yeah, 24th. So it's moving along pretty quickly. All right. South of the border, they didn't have as much of a bump up as we did. They're more red. They're actually 0.35 in the hole. So still a green month on the S&P 500, but they didn't have any of the little attempt to get back in the green that we had today. So they are certainly missing that for sure. The Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq, also the same story, 0.40% in the red. Just not a great day overall, but you know what? You got to have those. The Dow, also same idea, pretty much deep in the red here, but all of us are having a good month, though, overall. Now, here's the Russell. The Russell's a little more volatile because those are your little caps. And, that's a pretty big candle there for sure. But they're still well above their blue line. It's looking good. Now, interestingly enough, guys, gold is down today. It's down 0.90%. A lot of times when we see some of this chaos on the market, a lot of times we get some pumpage in the gold. Not really getting that today, but silver also down. Now oil was probably the play today. Look at this. That's some nice green on oil. Oil's up 2.10%. Well, West Texas Intermediate to be specific. Bitcoin is also up. Ethereum is slightly down. All right, let's hit the heat maps. And that is apparently the United States. I don't want the United States. And so is that. You know what? We can fix that. I don't know why it changed. Boop-a-doo. This should be all Canadian companies. Bang, boom. We're back in Canada. Holy banana bread. All right. So we got a little bit of red. Now, one of the interesting things today, Constellation Software is doing pretty good. They're up 3.60%. And if you've been wondering what we're going to see video-wise on Friday, I'm getting back to my roots. I'm getting back to a stock. We're doing a stock deep dive, and it's Constellation Software. Believe it or not, we have never deep dived Constellation Software, and there's a lot of concern out there right now. And that concern is, oh boy, is AI spelling doom for Constellation Software? Well, today's numbers makes you wonder, well, maybe not. So we'll see. We're going to look at that in that deep dive for sure. So Constellation Software up. Open Text also up 3.49%. And of course, all of our energy stocks, like look at this, Canadian Natural Resources up 2.32%. Now, the banks are down. Oh, BMO. Oof, BMO's down 1.22%. Holy banana bread. That's a fair amount. Fair amount for sure. Both railroads slightly up. Gotta love it. Utilities are looking pretty good. Enbridge up 1.33. TRP up. Pamina Pipelines up. Gotta love it. All right. Switching south of the border, we've got, well, most of tech is not doing super great. Look at this. Apple's down 1%. Nvidia's down 0.89. Google's down 1.89. Oracle's down. Netflix is down. Now, Meta's up a little bit, but here, look at the standout. Tesla up 4% here, 4.03. Not too shabby. So if you have a Tesla play happening right now, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. And heading over to crypto, we of course have a lot of green. So you can see Bitcoin up 1.58. Look at XRP. XRP's having a good day. Up 4.17. Cardano's up 1.76. Dogecoin's up 2.34. It's looking good. It's looking good for most. Solana is slightly down, 0.90. Ethereum looks like they finally got back. We'll just call Ethereum flat. Now, this is part of the show where I like to grab one of these little coins, these little altcoins, a whole bunch of them. Now, Bitcoin is green. Let's grab a red one. This is going to be a coin I've never heard of. And let's see what we got this time. Lester. Hi, Lester. Could this be some guy sitting down in a basement playing video games who just decided to make a coin and name it after himself? So Lester's down there eating donuts, playing Call of Duty, and he has a coin named after it. I don't know. That is just as legitimate as what it could be. It's hard to say. There's so many of these little coins. There is quite literally more than 15,000 of these altcoins. I call them crap coins because I'm not thinking of crap. I'm thinking of like gambling. You're going to the craps table. It's pure gambling. A lot of these little coins, pure speculation. Now, I'm not saying that they're all crap, but if you don't do your research, they are for sure. And if you're going to get involved in these, I would always say, at the very least, read the white paper. Make sure you know what the coin's for. Make sure you have some confidence. And you know what? A lot of the developers of these coins will have sort of Q&As and things like that where you can actually hook up with them on social media and talk a little bit. I would do all of that, or maybe play it safe. Stick to the big coins. Stick to your, not Forex, your Bitcoin, your XRP, your Dogecoin, your, heck, even your, I was going to I'll throw Ethereum in there too, even though they're struggling a little bit today, but absolutely. Okay, guys, I'm going to pull this back to the main screen and we're going to get right back to the TSX. Oh, look, they are falling a little bit. You know what, guys, they've fallen enough that I think I can feel some red coming on. Oh no, that's pink. There we go. That's red enough. We got some red. Seriously? All right, let's get the red back. Come back, red. All right, here we go. All right, stay in place, red. I swear it's haunted in here today. I tried. Now, let me just see. It's 3:54. I'm not going to miss the bell today. I'm not going to be even a second late. I was trying to write a message in YouTube. You guys, I normally have that little pinned message, like welcome to the stream. How was your day on the market type thing. It would not let me type in. And sometimes it would give me the thing. It would let me start typing and then everything would disappear and it would go right back to and I was like, what the heck? I can't write that in. So I did completely reboot my my browser, but who knows? Who knows? I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna call it haunted. My system is haunted today, so what can I say? All right, let's get back to the top. Muggsy first in the house. Hello, Muggsy. Good to see you. We also have Anna Isabel Gutierrez with a hi there. Northern Gal in with a good afternoon. And Zyborg says, hey, all. Stan is in with a hello, all. And whoops, let's get back here. I scrolled a bit too fast. Paul says, good afternoon. One group of stocks up, then down, then another. Group down, then up, maintaining the level 1% day. You know what? On a day like today, if you end up up 1%, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Rory's in the house. Hi, all. Now, I'm hoping you're not playing HOD today, Rory, because it's not moving in the way that you would like. Muggsy says, Candace, how do you like the TradingView platform? Is it easy to learn? I like it. I like it. And here's the thing. Like right now, I'm using the free platform right now. I don't have any of the paid stuff. I've used the paid, but quite literally, I find there's a lot of value, even in the free version. Obviously, a lot of things you'll get with the paid version is you'll be able to get more up-to-date data. It'll pull data in faster, so real time opposed to 15-minute delay. So you also get more indicators that you can put on. So you can put a lot more indicators on the same. So if you're doing like heavy duty technical analysis, I think it would be worth it for sure. And Paul says, of course, Tesla helping big time. Absolutely. Rory says, HOD oil inverse is almost on sale. I would say so. There is news that GoEasy is doing sketchy practices. Major short traders have an eye on it. Does that surprise me? And guys, if you don't know what GoEasy is, they're one of those companies that offer really low bar loans. I'll call them low bar loans. So those loans that are easy to get, but because they're easy to get, you pay a lot more interest. They've been doing really, really well as people have been struggling and they've had to resort to these type of loans. So to hear that there could be some sketchy practices going on over there does not surprise me. I will invest in almost anything to make a buck. I will, absolutely. I'm an investor. That's what we do. But there are a few companies that I look at it and I'm just like, I don't know about them. And GoEasy's kind of been on that list for me. They're kind of one of those ones that I feel like they cross some moral lines that I don't feel like crossing myself. So, yeah, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about that. But at the same time, they are a way to make money. If those lines don't concern you, they're definitely a good way to make some money for sure. Dorpat says, hi all, I am only one bullish on Amazon. Oh, am I the only one bullish on Amazon? Amazon. I think Amazon is one of these companies that it's hard to go wrong with them. Like they're always going to continue to get more valuable. They're not going away. But here's the thing. You do have to look at some of the big tech companies, and sometimes you have to wonder, are the biggest growth days behind them? I'm not saying that they are for Amazon. I think depending on where things go, but Amazon's been making a lot of good moves. I do like Amazon. So, yeah, I'm bullish. I am bullish on their long term. Paul says, for the month of September, GLD plus 6.41, IBIT 0.70, BTGC plus 5.85. So just Bitcoin doesn't sound too good. All right. Mary is in the house and hit the like button. Oh, guys, we must have a low number of likes because that's an aggressive hello for Mary. And Mary is our official captain of the like button. So, guys, you got to hit the like button. I'm taking a second. I'm having some coffee right now because you guys are all going to be busy checking to make sure you hit the good old like button. Turn it blue. Or, conversely, if you're like, oh my God, this sucks, hit the dislike button in that case. I want to, I want to give both sides a fair shot. AA says, what is with CSU? I heard it was something to do with AI. AA, tune in Friday. Tune in Friday for the video. I am doing a deep dive on AI. I'm doing a deep dive on CSU, and we will talk about AI in that video. Absolutely. And Kelly says, GoEasy are slime balls anyway. Okay. Perhaps a little bit less elegant than I said it, but yeah, that's kind of where that's kind of how I feel. And guys, I want to say this. They're allegedly slime balls because that's just how I feel about them. Maybe there's things I don't know. I don't know. Marco, hello, Marco, says, hi, question out of curiosity. Do you have a background in finance? Wondering where your wealth of knowledge comes from. My wealth of knowledge. Oh, boy. My background is actually, I've got a very wide background. I studied in university in double major biology and chemistry. I've worked in a lab. From there, I've moved into different management roles, worked in technology for a long time. So yeah, I've done a lot of stuff. I guess finance sort of came in as this thing where I got really interested in it. And when I get really interested in something, I learn about it big time. So I read a lot, some of the Canadian security material, everything. I've been through a lot of stuff, and I'm always learning. Like I hope that you guys don't come in here and sort of think I have all the answers, because I don't. I really don't. I'm gonna make mistakes. I am gonna learn new things from you guys. I think every day I learn something new from one of you guys. The bell. Oh. All right, guys. Market's closed. Like I said, I'm wrong sometimes. That earlier when I said I was not going to be a second late on that bell, oh boy, was I wrong. Oh boy, was I wrong. Holy banana bread. It's like I need a bell for the bell. All right? Yeah. Oh boy, yep. I get distracted very easily, and I go off on tangents. But yeah, back to you, Marco. Yeah, and I'm also very good. I'm very good at learning. Like, if I had to say, what am I? I'm a learner. It's like you can give me any information, I'm going to learn about it. And honestly, I love to learn stuff I have no clue about anything in it. I'm not saying that's like I go out of my way to do that, but I still like it, and it used to be that way. And I think part of it is when I was a trainer. So I used to manage a training department for an internet company. And one of the things that would happen is things would change so fast that I would have all kinds of brand new information drop on my lap. And it's like, yeah, your trainer's going to be training this tomorrow because it's going live the day after tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. So I've got the night. Well, not even the night. I've got about I've got half a day right now to turn this into a training curriculum, turn this into something that I can teach to the trainers, to train them, and they can then start rolling it out, training all of the staff the next day. So that happened a lot. So yeah, I mean, I'm very, very good at understanding stuff. I'm very good at pulling stuff together. And then I have, because of I think a lot of it is that training background. A lot of that training background has given me that ability to I can take stuff that is 100% aspirin sandwich, and I can turn it into a baby Tylenol type thing. So yeah, absolutely. All right. Guys, I just saw something here. I'm going to just zip ahead here for a moment. All right. Yesterday, look at this. Yesterday's in with 5 gifted Mountain Finance memberships. You know what that means? It's a Wednesday. So that means, guys, yesterday just bought you a Friday show. So I don't even have to turn on the night bot. So there we go. Thank you very much yesterday. And I actually have to look on another screen to see who got them. All right. If you are Ron, if you are Ron or Mark Sanji or John Locke or June or Pascal, and you're here, because sometimes it'll give it to people who are active who may not be at this particular show. But if you're any one of those guys, definitely please throw a thank you over to Wednesday. If not, I will thank Wednesday to yesterday. I will thank yesterday for all of you. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. 5 new channel members. Oh, and you guys, you channel members, you will get to see Friday's video tomorrow. So one of the perks of being a channel member is you do get to watch everything a day early, which is fantastic. You did miss the exclusive live stream for September, but those are 1 month gifts. So the October live stream, channel member live stream, you guys will be able to attend that if you so desire. All right. Thank you once again yesterday. You absolutely rock. All right. Brian says, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Brian. We got Bleak 784 with a hey all. Yes, and the bell. The bell. The bell's the bane of my existence. Why did I even come up with that idea? Something that I could be late on. Brian says, I was number 14 with 35 watching already. All right, there we go. 14 of 35, sure. Defense says, WNTR will pay $3.29 a share this Friday. Wow, you guys have some WNTR? Whoops, you know what? I'm just going to get out of there really quickly. Let's take a look. WNTR, here we go. So this is one of the yield max. It's a yield max. So I obviously, I don't have it. I'm not on the yield max boat. I'm just not on it. But yeah, so this here is the yield max strategy, short option income strategy. So yeah, there we go. So this here is, well, I can't even get a lot. Well, it hasn't been around that long. So there's a lot of these new strategy ones. Paul might be into this. He might. I don't know. I don't know if this would even hit Paul. All right, let's get back to the big screen here for a moment. I know, Lily. I know. I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed. I know. I said I wouldn't forget. Yeah, I really did. Scratch is in the house. I thought I heard somebody at the door saying hello, everyone. Let's see. Scratch says, why did you steal all of my Ivanhoe shares? 'Cause all of the gold belongs to me. That's just the way it goes. All right. Danielle. Hello all, Candace. What do you think would be a good ETF if I want emerging market exposure? Well, if you're looking for growth dividend, XEQT, and let's pull that up. I'm sure most of you are all familiar with XEQT. All right, so this here's your iShares Core Equity ETF. And I'll pull up the year here. So they invest in U.S. equities, Canadian equities, the rest of the world equities, as well as those emerging markets. So they are definitely a good one to get into if you want a nice, good, broad diversification. Absolutely. There are other ones that will give you 100% emerging markets, but I think XAQT or there's a lot of different FEQ. There's like an FEQT, that's the Fidelity one. There's a Vanguard one, VEQT. There's a lot. There's a lot out there. So I do like them all. Actually, Dan, I was gonna say Dan Hill, Gary Hill. I know some of you guys watch Gary Hill. He just did a video. He just released a video last couple of days where he actually compared all of the different all equity ones. So if you are interested in that, check it out. I don't have the link. I'm not going to go hunting for it online. Well, on the air, but just do a search on Gary Hill, and he is somebody who I am considering bringing. Hopefully, asking. I don't want to say bringing him on. He could say, "Nope, I don't want to do it." He is somebody I am considering for one of the future This Week conversations. And we're going to talk a little bit about This Week here in a bit as well. Because there's going to be, I'm thinking of changing up the show a little bit, and do a kind of a different thing. You'll see. All right, Brian says you need a phone alarm when you start streaming. I use it every day for ShakePay as a reminder. I know. I need a foam alarm or a buzzing seed or something to buzz at the market close. Danielle says, I always appreciate your opinion. Thank you, Danielle. I appreciate you saying that. Marco says, thank you for the answer. Always enjoy your input on the markets and possible investment ideas. Yesterday says, someone kindly gifted me a sub. I'm returning the favor. Awesome. Well, thank you, yesterday. You didn't just return the favor. You planted it and nurtured it and grew it up a little bit. And then, someone gave you a seed. You gave us back a shrub. I like it. Anna says, bravo. Great job. All right. Yesterday says, plus I own a decent chunk of Lithium Americas, so I had a good day. Yeah. I like you guys having good days. Not because you give away subs, but that's what this is all about. This is what this is all about. Jim is in the house. I am here now. Jim, I'm so glad that you're here now. We can start the show, guys. Let's start. Scratch. EWZ looks good for the long term with good divs. Let's take a look at EWZ here. All right, EWZ or Z, depending on which side of the border you're on. Did I type that in wrong? EWZ. Let's see here. EWZ. Yeah, no, I typed it in right. Here we are. EWZ. So iShares MCSI Brazil. This is interesting. So this here, you guys know, I talk a lot about global diversification. So you can get, you can get ETFs for a lot of different countries. I know I've actually done a deep dive probably about a year ago on India. You can get India, Australia. Here's Brazil. Here is Brazil. So this is kind of cool. All right, let's take a look what you're talking about with the dividends. That's not bad, 5.132%. It's semi-annual. Some people don't like the semi-annual because, it's like twice a year. By the time you get your next dividends, you forgot they even give you dividends. But, 51.5 cents now. That's USD, so that's probably closer to 60 cents. That's not too shabby. And let's take a look at how, and this is great because this will give you an overall idea of how the Brazilian market is looking. Let's go to that 1 year. Okay, so all right. So, since the beginning of the year, they, for the most part, have been moving up pretty good. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. All right, Paul says, never short strategy or Tesla long-term. Get in and get out of the same day. Daily reset and fees will kill any gains. No shorting either of those for myself. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of shorting. I will just say that I don't mind longing, but shorting gets a little, I don't know. It's just like you're hoping for someone to fail, and I don't like to do that personally, unless it's my coffee. My coffee can fail to stay full because I'm going to drink some of it. All right. Danielle says, I don't really want XEQT because I already have a lot of Canadian and U.S. exposure. Okay. Well, let me show you something. Here. Let's see. Got to pull this back up here. Let's see here. I'm going to go through Google to get there. XEQT, only because I can't remember the exact ticker of what I'm looking for here, but we're going to pull this up here. So this here is XEQT, and this is kind of this neat thing, guys. You can always go into these and see what they are holding. Yeah, so these are the ones here. So things, for example, like the XEF. So this here, the iShares MSCI, this is emerging market stuff. You know, so these are the other types of ETFs. So something like XEF, it's like getting XEQT, removing all of the other stuff, except for you're keeping the emerging market stuff. So that might be something to sort of look in. So you've got XEF, XEC, another one too. So these, between this one, XEF and XEC, you get a really good exposure outside of that whole Canada thing. So that is, you know, to me, that's something that's worth taking a look at for sure. Paul says FEQT has a little bit of Bitcoin. Ooh, that's not bad. I like that. I do like that. And Bismarcky Danhill, isn't that the singer from the 80s that sang that bop song? He had a couple of songs. But yeah, he is that the guy with the beard and the guitar. That's all I can really remember of him. But yeah. Let's see. Brian says Gary does a lot of interviews on his channel. He may want you on his also. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a two-way street. You know what? It's like if he wants, if you know, if I ask him and he comes on here and he wants me to come on his, yeah, it's no problem. He just needs to. All he needs to do is reach out. Yeah, I'd do it. I'd do his channel for sure. Rory, or bring on Hank Hill. Would love to hear about investing in Strickland propane. I know. CC says 5th consecutive day Bitcoin has gone rogue against the S&P 500. Yes. Good old Bitcoin. Yeah, and that's the thing though. At one point, and this is kind of interesting, at one point Bitcoin was very much in time. Like if you go back even a year, if you went back, Bitcoin moved pretty much in step with the S&P 500. There would be obviously a good variance. There's a huge standard deviation, obviously, but Bitcoin is its own entity, and I think it's actually good for Bitcoin when we see stuff like this. It sort of really shows that it has its own identity. What do you think about LAC? So that's lithium, isn't it? Let's just pull it up here. So LAC. Oops, I probably should share too. All right, LAC, yeah, Lithium America right here. Look at this. Holy banana bread. Yesterday, when you said you were very happy about Lithium America, holy banana bread, I see why. I did not realize. I had not seen this yet. Today. Wow, you've pretty much almost doubled your money. That's fantastic. What caused this? I don't know. So we're gonna head. Oh boy, yeah, the TSX is now definitely in red territory. I'm gonna come over here, and this is one of these things I like about TradingView. LAC here, Lithium Americas right here. There's the New York. We'll grab the TSX one. I'm bringing it down here, and oh boy, look at the gap. That's a big gap. Let's see here. It has to do with Trump. Let's see. Trump's lithium power play. Lithium America soars 70% on surprise government stake talks. All right. Oh, boy. So let's see. Okay, so the Trump administration is weighing an equity stake in the company. Oh, yeah. There we go. So this is, once again, this is Donald Trump. This is Donald Trump stepping in here, getting involved in this company, making a play. And, yeah, I can understand why that price doubled. I can understand why. All I needed to hear was the word Trump. If I heard the word Trump, I was like, oh, okay, he did something. So, yeah, not a bad thing. Now, Here's that question. And this is where I would be torn as an investor. If I had a stake in this and this happened, I am going to probably sell, guys. And why am I going to sell? Because this will probably correct. We're probably going to get some amount of correcting. I doubt we'll go back down to 443, but I could see by the end of next week us being like, maybe around $6, somewhere's in this area. I could see that. I could see us correcting that far. Maybe I'm wrong. Because this here is a buy the news. This is a buy the news, sell the rumor thing. So this is the news, the excitement. And once that excitement, people get over it, it will come back down. So if you are holding this now, well, it might be too late. It's hard to say how it's going to look in the morning. But I hope some of you took profits. I hope you took profits on this, because this is the type of scenario where profit taking was designed for this. Absolutely designed. I hope you guys got profits. Please tell me you got profits. Zyborg. Unusual Whales website detected some guy buying $250,000 in Lithium Americas call options a week and a half ago, like 4x the average daily volume, now worth $2.5 million. Insider? Well, let me just say, it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me. And Larry's in the house. Let's see, about another 5,000 shares of TSDD, 2S Tesla Bear. And Larry is preparing for Tesla to do a big old dumperoo. So we'll have to see. Right now they're moving in the opposite direction, but if Larry's right, he's going to make a killing. Brian says, let's see, the Tesla I was stacking the last few months, paying me 25 cents per share a month, and it's now up 23%. So when Tesla is down, I buy it because it's only going up long term. Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. In this case here, Brian is buying this for the income. It's nice to see it go up. But here's the other thing too. The fact that Tesla goes up and comes crashing down, up and crashing down. Well, what is that, guys? That's severe volatility. That's really good volatility. And a really good volatility means, well, it means that you make a lot more on the premiums when you're writing covered calls. So that's one of the reasons you get such a good dividend. That's why you get such a good dividend, because those premiums are really good on this. So yeah, from Brian's perspective, he's playing this absolutely right, especially from an income perspective. Watching it go up, but praying for when it comes down so you can get some more at a nice cheap price. That's a good move. Gursky's in the house with a hello. Politicians never lie. Too much government involvement. The government gets their nose in everything, though. That's kind of the way it goes. Yep, sometimes. Defense says, same for Cure. I regret not having bought $1,000 of it yesterday. Cure. Okay. I assume that's another lithium one as well. So that's going to be interesting. And yesterday says, yeah, maybe Tongue is a watch for the same reason. Is that a tungsten company? Maybe. Let's find out. I'm kind of curious now. Tongue. All right, guys, here we go. TUNG. If they're not a tungsten company, they are. All right. Tongue right here. So American Tungsten Corporation. Yeah, let's take a look here. Okay, they haven't been around that long, but they did have a bit of a peak. So I'm a little leery, but, you can sometimes get some incredible moves. This is, to me, technically still a penny stock, even though they have just moved out of penny territory. But interesting. I do like tungsten. Scratch said, I have the same move LAC did with MP Materials. Rare earths are really cheap, but still speculatives. Yeah, absolutely. Gursky says, has anyone bought any 9-point ETFs? I picked up 25 of their CNR high income shares today. So yeah, 9-point. And I know when you guys first brought it up, I told you back then, I had no faith in them because I didn't have any trust in them as an ETF company. Now, they've been around for a while. They've done a good job on their non-ETF funds. So I have listened to some. I think Adriano actually had the CEO of 9 on, and I listened. I liked what I heard. I actually did. So I think these guys are legit, but at the same time, I'm looking to see a bit more history. But I think, guys, I think 9 may be the real deal. So let's see how they go as we move forward. Yesterday says sold half, playing with the house money now. Nice. See, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. So when stock like this doubles in price, if you sell half, then no matter what happens, you're in the green. You can't go into the red. It's impossible. So that's a good move. That's a good move. All right. Politicians. Right, it's going to fall. Trump and his friends make fast money. Yeah, probably. And pumper dumper, maybe. But even if it isn't, it's still going to correct. Once that hype dies down, it's coming back down. It's coming back down. It may not make it all the way back down, but it is coming back down. So taking profits, smartest move you could do. And I'm so glad to hear that yesterday took a good chunk of profits. Brian, I was going to pick up their CCHI with the next month's premiums. Okay, why not? Brian says, Drill Baby Drill wants a play in lithium now. I played all the battery stocks 2 years ago and had to dump them all at a huge loss over time. Lacking Trump just sounds like a rug pull eventually. Yeah, I've never been super enthusiastic about a lot of the lithium. I've always felt that they were overhyped, especially a couple of years ago. They were really overhyped. Everybody was like, this is going to be the next gold. And I was kind of like, no, I don't think it is. So I never really made any lithium plays. I just didn't see the explosion. Now, mind you, what happened today? Yeah, this is a news thing. I don't think lithium is going to go to the moon after this, but I think this is a move that if you were holding it, it's giving you back a lot of credibility for the time being. It might just be short-lived credibility, but if you took a profit, then you got bragging rights beyond that, like yesterday did. All right. Larry says, I sold my SLI Standard Lithium today. That jumped on the other lithium plot. Okay, our play. Nice. All right, so Larry got some profits in there too, but Larry knows what he's doing. Larry knows what he is doing. So that does not surprise me. Paul says, I forgot about Block's USD distributions in a TFSA. The current 36% yield turns into 30.6% yield. I will keep it in the TFSA for now because the potential price currently plus 25% since June 17th. Okay, fair enough. Zyborg. I love that name. Trump's hard line on China and their rare metals import has been a boon for guys like MP and LAC. Yeah, absolutely. Tesla only up long term. I'm having Cisco flashbacks. Let's see what happens. Lemons. Lemons are the slice of life. AI will cause World War III. It's like the car races from the famous Silicon Mafia games, except they won't burn the ships this time. I hope you're wrong. I think the world hopes you're wrong, Lemons. But, there's always a fear. I read a headline the other day. I didn't go in and read any further. So take this with a huge grain of salt. But I read a headline that said something along the lines that Trump wanted to give AI control of biological weapons. I was like, what? And to me, I read that and I'm like, oh, that's clickbait. That's got to be clickbait. And I didn't go any further. Boy. But yeah, it's a crazy world that we live in. And Larry says lithium is old news, with sulfur being the new standard for batteries thanks to Toyota. Yeah, exactly. And that's one of those things. There's a lot of different new technologies coming out. I think eventually lithium will be a lot less valuable than it is now. Anna Isabel Gutierrez says, lithium or aluminum, which is better? Which is better than or neither? If you're looking for rare metals, I'll tell you one I would be interested in right now is copper. So copper, we are in. Actually, I'll give you two: copper and uranium would be my two big picks. So copper is expected. They're expected to have a shortage of it by 2030. So, and it's also used in everything. That's kind of gives you an idea that copper is going to be big time in demand. I think copper is a very good play. Uranium, same kind of idea. Uranium is going to become more and more popular as well. We need more and more power for what? Well, for AI. How can we have World War III if AI doesn't have enough power? So we need all of that. We need all of that power, and a lot of that is coming from. It's going to come from nuclear. Now the best uranium in the world is in good old Saskatchewan. So companies like Cameco, I think, are going to be gold mines. Well, technically uranium mines, but you know what I mean. Which comes first, gold 3,500 or gold 3,850? Well, you gotta have 3,500 before you can have 3,850, unless it jumps. Unless it jumps. All right, let's see here. Tesla at 488 is the last all-time high. Could be a profit-taking level. Yeah, I would say so. Solid-state batteries are still lithium. Yeah, and one of the things that is definitely helping lithium is most things that are designed for like the lithium type batteries. So, there's a lot of manufacturing that is sort of catered to that. And a lot of the newer technologies, it's hard for them and expensive to get them in the shapes of the same batteries that a lot of the lithium have. So that is one other option there as well. Let's see. In a recession, copper gets crushed through. Oh, you mean copper? Copper stocks you have any copper stocks you have in mind? I have one favorite little stock. Let me pull it up here. Oh, I still have the thing up. I have been watching this stock now for a while. It's Marimaka Copper Corporation, ticker Mary, M-A-R-I. Now recently they did they exploded. They jumped from like 9.30 up till 10, so they had a nice little bump. But this here is a stock that they've been slowly moving their way up. Now they've had a couple of bumps, but I like them. I do like them, and I think they're going to be very, very popular. I think copper may very well turn into one of those ones that, as long as you take a bunch of copper companies that have half decent fundamentals and put them up on a dartboard, I think you could throw a dart and you're going to make some profits. All right, and yesterday likes copper better than uranium. 9 months ago, uranium was a better bet. I think they're both really, really strong. Which one will explode first? Probably copper, because right now the demand is there for copper right now. Uranium's demand is there, but the big part of it has still to come. And there's a lot of construction that will need to be done. It's not like you buy the uranium before you make the plant. You make the plant first, then you bring in your uranium, you enrich it, all of that fun stuff. Mountain Finance reminds me of this redhead girl I used to drink with in Boca Raton, Florida, and not far from Admiral McRaven's house. Okay. I've been in Florida. Actually, I spent a summer in Gainesville, Florida, 1 year. I was researching a book. So, oh yeah, I've written a book, by the way, guys. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I was there for. But I never made it down to Boca Raton. Let's see. Yesterday says uranium stocks more than doubled in the last years. Oh yeah. Oh God. Well, look. Let's pull up here. Cameco. I think it's what is it? CCO. Here we go. So here is Cameco, and let's just pull up the 1 year. So yeah, a year ago, Cameco was at about $65. They're now at $115. So yeah, they've almost doubled. Almost doubled. Yeah, it's close enough that I'd call it doubling. Zamayer says uranium is highly speculative. Nuclear energy is very expensive. Don't count on the Trump push towards it just because he hates windmills. Oh, it has nothing to do with that at all, actually. This is more of the AI thing. So we've already got, was it Google? No, it was Amazon. No, it was Google. I think Google is the one that did invest in a nuclear power plant. And we've also got on the short list up here in Canada for our infrastructure projects, we have modular. So these are the new SMRs, so small modular reactors. So we actually have one of those that's going to get fast tracked as well. And there's a lot of other countries that are turning nuclear. This is not even Trump. Like actually, most of the demand is not in the United States. It's everywhere's but the United States. So yeah, I wouldn't look at Trump and his little thing with windmills. What is up with that? I don't know. It's like I don't know. I mean, did he get stuck out near a windmill someday and the pedals were spanking him every time the wind blew around? I don't know. I mean, he just does not like windmills. Rory, Saskatchewan also has diamond mines in the north. All right, well, there's diamonds. I would rather uranium than diamonds, but you know, you. I had a joke there. But it got morbid too fast. We'll leave that alone. Let's see. Politicians. So gold now at 37.40, likely to go down to 30. Oh, okay, never mind. So you were thinking, I got it. I didn't know what the exact price was of it right now. So is it more likely to go down to 3,500 or up to 38.50? I think they're both very likely, but if I had to bet, and most analysts are expecting gold to go up for the rest of this year, so I would go 38.50 before I would think 3,500. And if Trump does something that rattles the market, that's all it would take to push us up higher pretty fast. So, all right. Danielle says my money is on foam Foran for future copper mining. Already up 12% in 5 days and will probably double when production starts in mid-2026. I was looking at Mary that you suggested, but really high now. Okay, fair enough. And that's why I'm saying there is a lot of good companies. Foam is definitely another right there. So yeah, I would agree with that. Sure. Zyborg says uranium going to be in demand for those little wintertime hand warmer pouches they sell at Mark's Work Warehouse. Last forever. Yeah. Plus, you can sort of flip the mitts out, right, and it'll glow in the dark, so you can find your way home on a cold winter's night. Oh boy. As the mayor says, remember the "I love coal" from Trump's first term, and know what happened with coal exactly? I have not heard any more about the coal. Now I know he removed a lot of restrictions, and he said he was going to get America back on coal again. But I haven't really heard much since then. So, interesting. I kind of now want to know. I don't know what happened with coal either. Yeah, but that is why you get into uranium now early at a lower price, then have a stock for when it goes up later. The Florida Gators. Yes. Funny story, guys. Did you guys know that Gatorade was actually designed by the Florida Gators? A coach many years ago in the Florida Gators, he was having problems with some of his players having issues because they weren't getting their electrolytes. So he made this electrolyte juice, and they called it Gatorade because it was from the Florida Gators, and it caught on. It caught on big time and eventually became Gatorade. So there's a piece of Florida trivia for you. Bismarcky, are you still holding AQN? I am. I still have. That is still an active swing. It is still going on. Now I don't know where it got to today, but if oil keeps going up, that might be a swing that ends sooner than later. But it is still active. You the best. Thank you, Ray. Thanks. Rory says Wyoming has more coal than anywhere else in North America. Okay. Interesting. Paul says Tesla. New unboxed process is gluing all the parts together and no metal welding. For the actual two-seater robo-taxi, they can have a new one come off the line every 5 seconds. Matchbox Hot Wheels. Yeah. I know I watched something about manufacturing not that long ago, and I think it actually did talk about Tesla and some of their ability to sort of create a whole bunch of parts all at once. But anyway, I can't remember all of it very well. Let's see. EFR was my uranium bet. Okay, okay. Sold half when it doubled, playing with the house money on that one too. Wow. You're gonna have a big house. You're gonna have a big house. Zemayer, nuclear makes no sense in terms of costs. I, I mean, I personally, I kind of disagree, but you know, I think nuclear has a, I think nuclear has a bad rap, and I think a lot of people I think that. I mean, but here's the reality: is it's probably the greenest out there. And when it comes to nuclear waste is not as big of a deal as people think. It's not like barrels of some liquid stuff that's going to spill out into the environment. It's basically metal rods encased in concrete. All you got to do is if you bury them in a not, in a stable hole, as in very deep hole into like bedrock, they can stay there for 10,000 years, no problem. Obviously, you don't want to bury them in like on a fault line or something, but and I know that there's actually a town in Ontario that just recently announced that they were going to start handling Canada's nuclear waste, and some people were upset about it. They're like, oh no, well, how are they going to get it here? They're going to bring it here by trains. Trains go off the tracks all the time. And they're like, well, the actual containers that that move the nuclear waste, they're designed to withstand even something as horrific as a total disaster train, like even a head-on collision between two trains. Anyway, Don Quixote, nice. Let's see. Tesla just filled their patent for this new unboxed manufacturing process, meaning the cars are coming sooner. Patent is 7 years, I think. That's pretty cool. Let's see. The windmills are havoc on Trump's hair. All right, Muggsy. Muggsy for the win. Muggsy gets a point for that. I don't know what the point is, but you get a point. Lemons says nuclear can help with the North American water project to fill aquifers in Arizona to make TSML chips. Fortress America equal China collapses from fall out cold. Oh, yeah, maybe. Let's see. Trump on windmills. It kills all the birds. Yes, and the whales, and it's killing everything according to Trump. What can I say? Just avoid windmills and have some Tylenol. Paul says the new small nuclear reactors can create enough heat to replace the coal plant during part. Yeah. No, I mean these modular reactors, so SMRs. I think they're going to be really really cool. Lego taxis. I like that. CC says Trump loathing for wind power goes back to when he was a property developer of golf courses and holiday homes and how they impeded value in his plants. Probably. I mean, Trump just has to. If he hears any kind of a conspiracy theory on the internet, he takes it at face value and starts to change a national agenda to it. I mean, it's just like it's crazy. All right. Tesla unboxing. Just don't get the glue wet. Tesla has yet to make a cool looking car. Yeah, well, they definitely failed with the Cybertruck. Probably the ugliest. Let's actually go full. Probably the ugliest thing I've ever seen, a Cybertruck. But, it kind of reminds me of if Bizarro's face was a truck. If you know who Bizarro is, Bizarro Superman. Yeah, it's just kind of got that weird look to it. All right, solar power. Solar power is the cheapest form of energy generation since 2024. Together with battery storage, it's unbeatable. Oh, I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with these other types as well. Solar is fantastic. And eventually we may get to a point where we're actually putting things up in space to collect energy from the sun. There's a ton of energy up there that we can take advantage of. And I think that'll eventually be something that does happen for sure. No, I love, I'm not saying replace, solar with nuclear. I'm saying have all of this in addition. Nuclear, geothermal, tidal, there's a lot of power that's generated by the tides, and you can utilize that. So you take a place like the Bay of Fundy, where you've got the highest tides in the world. I believe it's on the New Brunswick side. I think they've got a lot of power generation on that side, but yeah, absolutely. Amrit says, I think BC government was pushing for hydrogen vehicle conversions. I wonder if any opportunities there. I think there's a lot of people that love hydrogen, but I don't know. I don't know whether or not it'll catch on as big as they want it to. I do like the idea of a hybrid car. I think hybrids are the way to go, at least at this point in time. Because even if you go with an electric vehicle or a hydrogen vehicle, you may not have full access to electricity, or at least to a charging station or something. So it's good to be able to also have some gas in there just for when you need it. Oil number one. Well, oil will probably be number one for a long time. Make no mistake. I mean, oil's not going anywhere anytime soon. So yeah, it's going to be around for a while. Let's see. Sullivan Mine in Kimberley wanted to buy that for $1. It's perfect for waste. RCMP gets a brand new big house there. Might be excited about it. Yeah, and I love Kimberley. So Kimberley, guys, it's a small town in BC, not that far from the Alberta border. But it's got I don't know if it was German settlers, but it's got this really, really all of the architecture is like, it looks like straight out of Europe. It's very cool. If you're ever driving through the Rockies, make sure you chart your way through Kimberley. You'll like it. You'll like it for sure. Rory, put the nuclear waste beneath the Leafs when they play. Maybe they'll be supercharged for once. Yes, and I think hockey started. I think it started. I think it's preseason though. I'm not sure when the regular season. Regular season won't start until October. Plenty of time for the Leafs to get ready to start losing, I guess. It's hard to say. I mean, the Leafs. It's not that the Leafs are losing. They'll probably have a good season. It's just the playoffs. The playoffs right now seems to be their big bane. All right. Trump heavily invested in Bitcoin. Not surprising. Not surprising. All right. And Zemayer, you're not a nuclear reactor fan. I get that. That's fine. That's fine. I appreciate everybody's opinion, for sure. All right. Hopefully Canada wins the cup this year. It's time. I mean, come on, guys. It's been since what? Is it 93 since the cup has been in Canada? It's time. It's time. I don't even care which team wins, preferably not the Leafs, but any other team, I'm 100% behind them. And if we get to the playoffs and it is the Leafs, I will cheer for them just to get the cup into Canada, for sure. Those of you who are Leafs fans, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Rory says, if Oilers don't win, I can see Mark D leaving. Oh boy. Let's see. You hear about the mass shooting at the Dallas ice facility? Well, when did that? Is this like new? No, I don't. This does not ring a bell. I have not heard about it. Oh, ice. When you said ice, I was not thinking of immigration. Because we were talking about hockey, I was thinking some ice rink in Dallas. I think I might have heard something now, but oh boy. The next cup belongs to Montreal. Sorry, guys. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. All right, let's see here. The Cybertruck looks like a 5-year-old drew a truck. Canucks are getting the cup this year. Oh boy. Oh boy. We got some opinions here. We got some opinions. It would be very irresponsible of me to start a poll, so I'm not gonna, but we got some opinions. Larry says, I have the originals for the first 3 designs of the Cybertruck. You'd probably like it. I can post them now since production's done. Oh, very cool. You should go over, you know what? Drop them over on the Discord, Larry. I'd love to see them. And guys, we do have a Discord, by the way. I'll drop the link in here. Discord. Just a place you can go, talk, chat with each other. Just make sure when you're over there, if you want me to see a question that you have directly, make sure you call me out, because otherwise I might miss it. Because, there's a lot of stuff over there. Let's see. Hydrogen as car fuel makes even less sense than small nuclear plants. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of hydrogen. I think we agree on that one, Zamair. Let's see. Carney's green tech obsession will bankrupt Canada before it becomes viable. Uh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I've seen this even with these projects that they're still trying to pull the green in with it. I'm okay with green, but at this point in time, we definitely need to start pumping our economy. That seems to be very, very, very important. Scratch says, did Elon use the Homer Simpson version of a car for the Cybertruck? Maybe. Go Habs, go! Yay! Go Habs, go! Look at this. We got a lot of Habs fans here. Tim says, "Way, is it Leafs, not Leaves?" Yeah, the Toronto Maple Leafs. But they leave in the playoffs. We'll go. That's where they become the Leaves for sure. Roy says, however you spell it, they always fall in the spring. All right, let's see. The tidal power generators in the Bay of Fundy degrade very, very fast. The turbine blades kill, realized, and self-destruct in the bay. Oh, that's not good. I had not heard that. So yeah, that could be. Maybe the tides are too strong, or maybe they need just, I don't know, change the materials, perhaps. But yeah, that's not good. I don't like the sounds of that. Paul says, a quote from the meme in reference to the shooting at the ICE Center: "Caution, the gun haters are shooting people who won't support their politics." Oh gosh, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Oh boy. Let's see. Sea life not realized. Stupid autocorrect. Okay, fair enough. All right, let's see. I spent years in university, then a 35-year career in tech, and now retired. I'm still young enough. I've never seen the Leafs win the cup. Zyborg, I know. I wonder, when was the last time they won the cup? Oh, I think it was like in the 50s. There might still be some people alive who saw that. But, we're running out of people who have seen the Leafs win the cup. That's for sure. Paul says Trump was talking the green con job at the UN in reference to countries like Canada without saying Canada. Yeah, I heard that. I heard him. He attacked a lot of things. For sure. McDavid wears Toronto Maple Leaf pajamas. Maybe. Carney's green tech is also about retraining EI people with new skills during Trump down years. Okay. Oh, 1960. Really? They won it in 1967. All right. I thought it was further away, but yeah, so we will get there, but maybe we gotta wait for, I think 67, like you've already got the Gen X's just starting. Like, didn't the Gen X generation start in like 65 or something like that? So yeah, we gotta wait for at least a few Gen X's to go. All the boomers have to be gone. All right. I was a young boy then. LOL. Go Leafs, go. There we go. McDavid's bedroom probably looks like Steve Dangle's room. I'm not sure who Steve Dangle is. He might be another hockey player. It's just the name isn't ringing a bell instantly. Though it does look familiar. I don't know why. Kelly. I know the year only because I was born that year. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, how many people have not Googled what's happened in whatever year you've been born? I've certainly done it. I can't remember what happened in the year I was born, but Larry says, original ad for Cybertruck was Elon shooting up a Dodge Ram with an AK. I saw that. I saw, not him shooting it, but I heard about that, and I also saw where he took a sledgehammer to it and it broke. And I was just like, oh, God. All right. Steve is a Sportsnet Leafs guy. Okay. There we go. Yeah. And I don't really watch, I'll occasionally, like in the playoffs, like I'm a Montreal fan. So if Montreal makes it into the playoffs, I'll watch those. But honestly, I got a guy on YouTube who streams them all. I'm not saying it's, I should be allowed to do that. I'm just saying there's a guy. I know a guy. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Odds of the S&P 10% drop within 30 days. Oh, the way things are going right now, I would say the odds are not great for that. I would say if I was a Las Vegas bookie, you would probably, if it happened and you bet it happened, you'd probably make a ton on it. So yeah, they'd be very low odds. Canucks have never won the cup. Did Canada get to the final game 4 and lost all games in 1982? Yeah, and there's Vancouver is one of those teams that have never won the cup. Winnipeg, I'd love to see Winnipeg win. Um, or I mean Edmonton. I think Edmonton kind of deserves it now. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how this year is going to look. Like I do think, and this is not me talking as a Montreal fan, but I think Montreal, a lot of their young blood last season were really they overperformed. They overperformed, and that really helped Montreal. That helped Montreal get into the playoffs. I think they're going to continue to overperform. I think Montreal will be a better team this year. They'll make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to win the cup. I'm not going to have that illusion. I hope I'm wrong, but I think they'll make it a little deeper than they made it last year. Rory says, I hope it drops. I'm looking to add HYLD. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys, we are coming towards the end. If you got your last minute questions, get them on in here. I'll have some coffee while you guys are composing for sure. Oh, very good. It's not as good as it was, but it's better. I just switched from a coffee creamer to milk because I'm trying to cut a little bit of that fat out. So it's like, ooh, I'm getting used to the taste. It's not as rich as before, but it's still good. Brian says Edmonton deserves it. The Leafs have thousands of fans that won't die until the day they win. Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, Edmonton has put in so much work. I really do think that they do deserve it, for sure. Yield Max Habs Performance ETF, Habsy. I like it. Could you imagine if we had ETFs on that were based on how a sports team did? Oh boy, that'd be funny. Jim says, thanks for the show. Altus Minerals. Okay. ALS. Let's take a look. Why not? ALS. Whoops, that was AL with a little bit of extra in there. ALS. Here we are. Altus Minerals right here. Let's pull up Altus Minerals. I'm liking what they've done the last 5 days. I'll pull up the year. Yeah, look at this. This they're doing pretty darn good. Now, here's the interesting thing. So they are, and you got me here, politicians. You got me. They're a royalty company. I love royalty. I love royalty companies. They produce metals and minerals such as copper, zinc. Well, they don't. The companies that they own the royalties to. So yeah, this is a great idea. I've been a big fan of royalty companies, and this is a good one. Absolutely, I like it. Jack says, "Good afternoon. I'm late, but what's the worst falling knife you've ever caught? Assuming you have a falling knife." That's a good question. Nothing's coming to mind. But, and I think it's just because of the strategy I use. Probably. Some of my investments before Bitcoin crashed last time. Some of that was, I would call that falling knife, even though, hold on to it, you're fine, because that's just the way Bitcoin works. But yeah, good question though. Yes, I am still holding Air Canada. I am, they were up yesterday. I was a couple $100 into profit or so, but, Air Canada is more of a long game. It's more of a long game. It's a longer trade. So I'm looking for, I would say, once we get to 21, I'll consider dropping in my stop loss. But before 21, I'm just going to hold. I'm just holding. Kelly, I'm happy with the IVN purchase I made. Thanks for the news piece on it. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, that did really, really well. Absolutely. And ironically, I quite literally did the news piece on it. I wrote that up the day before they I think it was the day before they exploded, or a couple of days before. Very timely for sure. Paul says, "Oh my, I was 15 in 1982. I was given a Canuck game program for one of those games in 1982. Have to check if it was the Stanley Cup final round." Oh yeah, interesting. Hopefully, if you still have it, there you go. When will you sell your IVN shares so I can get them? Oh, I already did. I already did. That was a very short swing. I got in, it exploded, I get out. That was a short trade. Kelly. I was thinking I'd hold it. Do stocks sell out? I don't know this. It's not that they sell out. So when you buy a stock, you're not buying it from the company. You're buying it from somebody who's selling it. So, and that's the thing. When you look at, so if you look, and here, let me show you. This is the question here. Let me show you something. So this here, of course, is actually, let's do another company. Let's do Ivanhoe Metals, since that's the question we're looking at. All right, let's see here. All right, so when you come down here and you look in the data, there is this thing in here called total shares right here. So that's the number of shares that exist. So in this case here, we're looking at 1,352,670,559 shares. So that number will not change unless IVN does something. And there's two things that they can do. One, they can dilute the shares. If they dilute the shares, that means that they basically have printed. It's like the government printing money. Your money gets, your money basically deflates because it's worth less because there's more money in circulation. Same thing with shares. So if a company decides to dilute, it means that they have decided to raise money for whatever needs they have by creating new shares. In that case, this number goes up. Now, here's the thing. With this number going up, their market cap is the same. So if you think about it, the share value, so right now their share value is what, 1433 right here. So that, basically in a nutshell, if you take this market cap, divide it by the total number of shares, you should get this number. You should get 14.33. So if they create more, you're going to divide that by more shares. So what happens to this number? It gets lower because there's more shares splitting out that market cap across them. Now, the other thing they could do is they can do what's called a share buyback. In that case, they buy back shares from people like you, and they don't put them back in circulation. They just tear them up, in which case this number gets smaller. And because it gets smaller, this number gets pushed up. So that's kind of how it happens. So when you're buying a share, you're buying a share from, well, somebody's already holding it. The company's not creating new shares. They're not selling shares. So you're buying between. And that's the thing. That's where the prices are. So the price of that share is how much somebody's willing to pay, how much somebody's willing to sell for. So the more, that's the price movement. And I always talk about psychology of investors. Well, yeah, if there's good news, they'll charge more to sell that stock. So the price goes up. And, or if, there's bad news going on with the company, people are like, I just want to get rid of this stock, so I will take less money for it. The price goes down. So that's how it all sort of moves back and forth. But that's kind of that's how shares work. Let's see. Nortel. Oh boy. M-Weed. Oh yeah, those are a couple of good ones for sure. See, mine would have been weed, but I made a profit on weed. Like I said, you guys have probably heard this a billion times, but I got really lucky. I just happened to be online. I just happened to be in the weed. Well, not in the weeds, but I happened to be in Wealthsimple at that time when Wall Street Bets went and pumped weed, and I jumped out, and I ended up getting onto the top. Pure dumb luck, but I'll take it. It's a profit. Let's see. UVXY still in it from 1960. I don't know what that is, to be honest. UVXY. Let's see here. Oh, it's a Pro Shares. It's one of the Pro Shares. All right, so yeah, let's pull this up here. So UVXY, Pro Shares Short-Term Futures ETF, 2X shares. Okay, interesting. So yeah, it's kind of like some of these companies, for example, like Pro Shares, they do a lot of the same things that Beta Pro will do up here in Canada. So yeah, interesting. Interesting for sure. And right now it's what 1077, and you've been in it from 1960. Oh boy, that feels like a falling knife, because that's almost half the value. Jack says, "Wow, not one. That's some great strategy." TRQ was a falling knife. Labor-sponsored funds were a falling knife when locked out from redemptions. Took a few years to get any money. No one ever talks about labor-sponsored funds anymore. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think anyone does. Mine was EFI Crypto from 2021 last, 1700. Lost 1700. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. Telus was a falling knife from April 2022 for a long time. Bell. Bell was kind of a falling knife for a bit too. Let's see. First Fast, falling knife, vet 37 to 2. Doubled my money when I sold the rebound at 30. Cried over chorus, shock. Oh, you want another good falling knife? I know a lot of people in the community back during the pandemic were all excited about that cans company. Well, if you went big time on cans, you've lost a lot of money. I mean, that's a stock that almost imploded. I think they're still out there, but oh boy, that was certainly a falling knife as well. Vet may still be a thing. Oh, hey, Redwater. Paul says LEU was another uranium play, but now on a downside since aftermarket September 22nd. There's talk of Rivian not surviving through years of tariffs at current levels. Yeah, I've heard that. Absolutely. Let's see. Marvel is buying back 10% of the shares. So yeah, there's an example right there. So that means that basically they'll have 10% fewer shares on the market after that. And that will, I mean, mathematically, you expect that to knock the price up by 10%, but there's other factors in there as well. So you may not get a full 10%, but that's one of the things that's helped Air Canada too. They've been buying back shares. Scratch says, I would stick with IVN shares for a long time. They are a big player in copper, and they have a lot of Platy coming in the next years. Yeah, and guys, when I said I sold them, like I said, I bought it expressly as a swing trade. So, you know, it's not a situation like I don't want you guys to sort of say, oh, well, you sold it, so we got to get out. No, absolutely. I think it's a fantastic stock. I think it has a lot of great potential in the future. Scratch is 100% right here, but this was a swing trade. So it was from my swing trading fund, and you know, my swing trading fund is not meant to hold anything long term. It's meant to get in, make a profit, get out. That's what it does. Muggsy says, yep, cans got me good. I finally sold at a loss. Yeah. So yeah, Muggsy's been around. I mean, Muggsy's been around since the beginning, even before the beginning. And yeah, I think I remember a lot of people getting caught up in the cans thing. CC, the lack of people's research on leveraged ETF decay is unfortunate. Yeah, you do have to be very careful with especially these big leveraged ones. Oh boy, like you take for example the Beta Pro. It's not even that, you know, it's not like you can get in and hold it for any amount of time because they renegotiate their leverage every single day. So there, even if everything is doing well, there can be some really funky stuff going on behind the scenes. So yeah, absolutely. Paul says Telus International was a falling knife. Now Telus is buying it back for $4.50 a share versus $25 a share IPO. Yeah, no, Telus International. Oh boy, yeah. And if I remember correctly, I think Telus is going to take them private once they have them back under control. I think Telus International, then, you know, and by doing it that way, there's a lot less reporting requirements. Speaking of reporting, I did hear something about Donald Trump wanting to do away with quarterly reports in the United States for companies. I was like, don't do that. I love quarterly reports. It lets me know what's going on. So yeah, don't do that, Donald. Don't do that. All right, guys.
I think we are at the end. This one's a nice short one. We're keeping this one like an hour and a half. This is normally where these ones are supposed to be. Um, we will be back. Thanks to yesterday, we will have a Friday show. So five gifted subs. Fantastic. I love it. All right, guys, we'll be back on Friday. Video coming out. If you're a channel member, you can watch it tomorrow. But we will be looking at Constellation Software and are they going to survive what AI is doing? You'll find out. You'll find out on Friday. Until then, guys, you guys rock. I always love spending an afternoon with you guys. We'll be back again on a Friday. Until then, guys.